Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't gotten one straight answer on why the general over in Iran was killed. The story keeps changing. He was a threat. He was this. He killed people. And he was not threatening the United States. And if that was the case, how come nobody felt threatened by this man prior to him being killed? I didn't even hear the mainstream news talk about this man. So, how much of a threat could he have been? Okay, how much of a threat could he have been? And don't tell me, well, just because you didn't hear anything, that don't mean he's a threat. Well, just because we didn't hear about this man didn't mean he was a threat to the US either. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe there was any imminent attack on Americans from this general at the time he was killed. And then they came up the following week about the four embassies, and I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that he was targeting four embassies over there in the middle. I don't believe that. Sounds too made up, you know? And then so what if it's a lie? He was a threat. This is what Trump is saying. No, you can't kill anybody on a lie. But this is not the first time, y'all. This is how the wars over there in the Middle East got kicked off. Iraq and Afghanistan, weapons of mass destruction that was never found, and making shit up just to justify a war. And America can't get out of there now. So now we have Soleimani's death. And right now, it's not justified. I know the mainstream news think they got all the answers. You don't on this one. This is not justifiable at all. And it really gives America a major black eye. It really does. Let me just go down a bit. Under the UN chapter, the president's authority to kill Soleimani required that the US was facing an armed attack, which the US was not facing an armed attack from this man, as well as that the use of force was necessary to repel or prevent it. I don't know. Again, before this man died, who in the US felt threatened by this man's presence on this planet? I have no, look, out of all the years I've been on YouTube, I have not heard this man's name come in my comment section even once. You weren't threatened by him. Period. You weren't. Whether attack was truly imminent is also key to the domestic legal question because US law does not permit the president to use force unilaterally. That is without congressional authorization outside the most edged circumstances. Well, there was no circumstances that the United States citizens or military was in any kind of imminent danger. How come we never heard this man's name before? Mainstream news? Y'all full of shit. These legal questions are no mere technicalities. The purpose behind the law is to limit unnecessary war to the greatest possible extent. US presidents have at times pushed the limits of such laws, but doing so has dire consequences, including unnecessary conflict, civilian casualties, and the lost trust of our allies as well as of the US public. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when Iran hit the base with 15 missiles, they came very quickly out on mainstream news and Trump himself too claim, oh, there were no fatalities, everybody's fine, blah, blah, blah. And come to find out, 11 people were injured, and some of those injuries were serious. They tried to act like nobody was hurt, nobody was hit, this is no big deal. And they came out and really lied. They lied. So, that being said, the attack was based on a lie, and all of the information coming out since the attack and killing of this general has been nothing but straight up lies. So, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I don't expect to ever get the truth when it comes down to this situation. And I think it's stupid to even do this act when you really didn't have too much of nothing to go on. The UN Security Council may authorize force, for example, or a state may consent to the use of force in its territory. Neither applied to Soleimani's strike, which occurred on Iraq's territory against its wishes. But only exception, okay, the only exception that could conceivably apply here would be the one Trump says doesn't really matter. Self defense that is necessary and proportionate to repel an armed attack. There was no such thing going on, y'all. There was no such there was no such thing going on. Like I said, the way this whole thing is going, we are not going to get the truth, y'all. And if a war do break out, I'm going to still be asking why. I'm still going to be asking because this whole thing is ridiculous. We don't have no real answers to what happened here. This is crazy. I don't know about you, but do you think Trump is worth dying for? I sure don't. Here is where eminence come in. Most experts accept that the self-defense exception also includes defense necessary to prevent an imminent armed attack. Though what makes an attack sufficiently close at hand is a matter of substantial debate. The concept traces back to the Caroline incident of 1837, in which Canadian militia destroyed a U.S. vessel by the name deemed a threat. In the aftermath, the United States argued the attack could be justified only if it was in response to a threat that was instant, overwhelmingly leaving no moment for deliberations, which was disputed in the Caroline incident. In recent years, the United States courted significant controversy by stretching the concept of imminence, most recently under the Obama administration, which put forth a test of imminence that included several factors, including the nature and immediacy of the threat, the probability of an attack, and whether the anticipated attack is part of a concerted pattern of continuing armed activity. But under no plausible interpretation of international law can a state claim self defense when it is neither responding to an armed attack nor anticipating one. Exactly. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, is too many twists and turns to this story. And I am never going to be easy with Trump making this decision to go in there and attack somebody. And I still say I failed to see where the threat was. And don't come with that. He killed people. America has killed plenty of people. Okay. Okay. That's not going to fly with me. He killed people. He killed people. Oh, America don't kill people, huh? In 400 years, you didn't kill a single person, huh? Please don't come to me with that. If that's all you got, don't come over here at all because I'm just going to erase what you write. That is silly. And, I know that Nancy Pelosi was trying to take away Trump's, you know, ability militarily. I don't think that's going to pass through the Senate. But it does certainly raise some eyebrows about his reasoning behind this whole thing. Um, I don't think this was a justifiable act, y'all. You can disagree with me if you want, but I do not see this attack as justifiable. And this man was wild. I mean, he was very popular over in this region, not just in Iran. And there was just no legitimate reason for this. And I don't believe Iran has stood down as Trump has said. They didn't stand down at all. Like I said, I just don't expect anything coming out of this administration being truthful. So we shall see what happens. I don't believe this is the end by no stretch of the imagination. I think more attacks are planned, especially on the Iranian side. I really believe more attacks are definitely coming. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.